What is good, y'all boys? Um, shit. I recorded a video yesterday. I probably won't post it. I'll just recap it here. Um, I got a chargeback yesterday. I've been getting a couple chargebacks. I'm at like 1 point some % chargeback. Ratio right now, really not good. And I'll kind of run through this quickly so I don't have to like really recap the whole video. It was like a 7-minute video, you know how it goes. But essentially, like, we had a shipping delay coming off Black Friday. Some orders were in transit for like 2 or 3 weeks, 3 weeks literally. Some orders from November still like in transit, and we started getting a couple chargebacks. The Disputify not catching them all, so that was pretty frustrating. Like, I was talking to Disputify's chat a couple of times, like they just weren't. We got like 6 chargebacks in a row, but they didn't catch them, and like it was frustrating because a lot of the chargebacks, like at least 60% of those, were customers that we communicated with, and like they literally just charge back anyways. Some just like just truly being dickheads. Like we had like literally two instances where we told customers that they could refund once they got the package, but with it being in transit, it can't be canceled. They just have to wait until they get it, and then they can, they'll return it, and they charge back. They call the bank charge back. So it's like a lot of these chargebacks I'll likely win because we have like email, like they'll like charge back and say that they didn't know about the order at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like we literally had 3 people total that said they didn't know about the order at all, but we literally had email receipts from all 3 of those people. So it's just like people just being scammy, just like annoying as shit, and just all around bad timing, how everything's happening back to back to back. Just, yeah, we had one customer that was like, "Oh, y'all are a scam," and like our email reps like, "No, like you have tracking live updates, like it's happening. It's on the way. We've been talking to you this whole time." And then he was like, and then he did the chargeback, and she reached back out, and he was like, "Y'all are a scam. Y'all respond late in the emails, da da da." And like, bro, I look at the email receipts from like between that customer and my rep, bro. He emailed us at like 11 p.m. She responded the next day at like 9 in the morning or some shit like that, like 9 or 10 in the morning. Like, bro, just being completely irrational and just a dickhead. So overall, frustration there. But like I said, we're at like 1% or like maybe like a 9% right now. So 1 or 2 more chargebacks and it's kind of cooked. I do have a payment provider backup with Stripe. I'm with ShopRite Payments right now. I do have Stripe set up, but like once again, those 2 things are connected, so I don't really have like a long-term solution at the moment. I'm just hoping that I can just transfer over to Stripe and then like have that hold me down until I sort everything out. We did an email blast, emailing all customers that are behind, and we're also just refunding customers more like freely right now, just are more lenient. I don't even know the word, but we're just refunding more customers like if needed. From a performance standpoint, it's been really weird, and I'm honestly frustrating. We'll have like for the last 4 days, I've been below break even and losing money, but for the last 4 days, like everything, like we'll be at a 2-row ads until like 7 o'clock, and then once 7 o'clock hits, we'll just have no more sales the rest of the day. Like, what the fuck? Like, we will literally have, bro, and it's the same ads getting all the spend, and I'm just like, how does efficiency just drop to nothingness for 4 days in a row? Like today, I thought I had turned off some bad performance because I seen Facebook would spin towards a specific ad during the day, and then once the night hit, it kind of spent towards 2 old winners that are not even old winners, but just 2 old ads that got a lot of spin. They were just like trying to suck up spin, and then we had one ad that was rising in the ad account, but I just did a learning on that ad, and it's pretty ass looking back at it, but it just had like a very wide hook, so it had a 6% hook rate, but it just wasn't, making it a good converting ad because it wasn't qualifying. Like I said, once you go broad, you gotta qualify, or you gotta find a way to increase buying intent. But like people are watching through it. It was all over the place. But it was barely break even, but over its whole duration, if you look at all the numbers, but the CPA was like $50, and yeah, it just wasn't it. So like both those days, like within the last 4 hours of the day, like all the spend would go to those unperforming ads, and then we just wouldn't get any more sales, which would just tank our profitability, and then we would always teeter around break even. Incredibly frustrating. And then today, it kind of looks like the same trend, even though today, after I turned off those ads, I woke up, we had a 1 row ads, we had $200 in sales, $200 in, what you call it, revenue? No, yeah, $200 sales, $200 in spend, and it was like, ooh. And then I went to go get coffee, I came back. Because my phone's broke, I had to mail it to get it fixed, so I actually like don't have service on my phone. I have another phone that I'm recording with that, like I said, doesn't have service. And so I've been like kind of forced to disconnect. I came back and we literally had $600 in sales in an hour. And shit, we're at like a 2.5 row ads. Same ad that has been performing, just kind of like took all the spend. And then once again, but this time starting at 3 o'clock, it's been like 3 hours, no sales, which is like, what the fuck? Mind you, we're still at a 2 row ads, so it's like a 1.9, so it's not the worst in the world, but it's just like, how does efficiency just drop to nothingness? Like, how does the same ad that does $500 in revenue in an hour go 4 hours with no sales? So today was looking like a 2K day, because we are like literally at 2 o'clock, we already had more sales than we did yesterday. And we haven't had a sale since. So that's just annoying as shit. But you know, we ball. On the day we have a 4.4 conversion rate. I did just finish a lander today. I wish I could show y'all. Pretty good lander. I was actually like in Canva a lot for the I made a lot of custom graphics for this lander. Pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. Very good Proctor wear lander. Took inspo from a brand that's scaling really hard right now, and from 2 brands, one in my niche and one that's just scaling hard in a adjacent niche. And yeah, man, so excited to get that live, because we have about 3 new ads going into the ad account. Actually, I think 4 or 5 new ads going into the ad account today. We'll just let them rock through the weekend. Then we'll have our next batch of ads on Monday. I am happy to say, like, I'm like, when it comes to creative output, it's excellent. Honestly, this whole video had one theme. I wanted to talk about intention, being intentional when it comes to creating ads. But like, it's really easy to just put our head down and just like put out a whole bunch of shit. That's like the worst thing in the world to do. I feel like when it comes to ads, now I know, because I've had stretches where I was like doing a lot of output, but I never had the time to take a step back and really look at what I'm paying for, look at the data that I'm getting, look at the angles that I'm testing. If you're not, it's almost like shooting in the dark and just hoping something hits. That's why, like, when I see guys that talk about performance dropping and they want to like get their ad accounts back or just get their brands back, like, I mean, shit, maybe I'm not the perfect person to talk to about it. Some people would say I'm delusional for staying with this brand. If you knew what my brand was, you probably want me to stay with it as well, or you would, you know what I'm saying, be like, okay, it's valid. But like, I feel like I'm gonna turn around. I mean, shit, I already went from burning money to being break even again, which could have just came from lowering budgets, but regardless, I digress. What I'm gonna say, I kind of see light at the end of the tunnel with the ad that I made just now, but as I continue to put ads out, I'm also like going back, doing learnings, making sure I do that once a week, like before I sketch out my next batch of ads, and kind of just understanding like what I'm testing. And every time I make an ad, I kind of brief myself on what is being tested in this ad, so that I can be sure to, you know, continue to grow and continue to like put up good shots throughout the week. And I'm also about to go ahead and start testing statics aggressively in the time between when my editor finishes edits on the week and starts the course that I paid him for him to do. So he's doing a course, which is kind of cool. Hopefully it will yield some good results. Getting my editor some extra like trainings and whatnot. He's already good, so I think he'll just take his skills to the next level. I feel like I'm going on a tangent without talking about my initial point. I really just want to say, make sure you do learnings and review your ads, because like, we have these numbers in the ad account, and we kind of get told like, okay, don't focus, don't be in the ad account too much, just let ads rock. But you still have to go back, because like, look, for example, I have an ad that did $2,000 in spend in like a week and a half. It was a loser. It was like just below break even, and I had to cut it off because this was the ad that was getting a whole bunch of money. This ad has a 52% hook rate, and mind you, this is a 4-minute VSL, and a 17% hold rate, and it has a $35 CPM with a 2.7% click-through rate and a 1.55 unique link CPC. Right now, if you're not really going back and looking at what you're doing, you could just turn off this ad and just keep it pushing, right? I turned off this ad because, once again, I think the hook was incredibly broad, which is what yielded such a good hook rate. The click-through rate is good, so that means intent is there, of course, but the issue was, like, when I look at the script objectively after like taking a step back after now 2 weeks in between when I actually wrote this script and, you know, it being an ad account getting data, I now realize, okay, I fucked up here, and here. I can improve this script. I probably won't do an iteration. I'll probably just do a variation, like kind of scrap it entirely and just write it brand new, but kind of reusing the hook of even. But it's like, okay, so the fact that the CPMs weren't high as shit, it clearly resonated. You know what I'm saying? It just you can look and just get closer to making a winning ad when you actually look at your data and, you know what I'm saying, continue to build upon the blocks that you have. What I think my biggest decision right now is because, okay, with VSLs, they just cost a lot to make, and, you know, that's like my main shit. And like right now, I'm kind of getting more comfortable with doing like UGC VSLs. So it's like there's still VSLs, but just a little bit. I guess it's like talking head. I guess it's like a UGC VSL hybrid, like, you know, them UGC clips that like have B-roll in them, and they're still like long as shit. I'm kind of leaning into that. It seems like something that's resonating with my demographic, and I don't even know why I said that. Why I started talking about that. I know I'm gonna do a variation like that. I'm gonna start spinning those out a little bit more. Oh, I was saying, because I do VSLs, there's only a certain amount of shots I can put up in a week. So that's also why I'm getting ready to like transition into static ads. Just not transition, but like leverage both of them. I'm gonna start a separate campaign and do native static ads. So like the small things I want to test in the 3-day span between when my editor, you know, gets his last script, I can continue testing, so then I can take those and then turn those into long form VSLs. And honestly, I like staying with the VSLs because, at least for right now, because I am in a pretty skeptical market. The market sophistication here is pretty high. I just have a product that's not really the most traditional for this market, which is why I'm able to perform. But this is like, it's a pretty intense market, if you will. I'm looking at something right now. Hold on. Damn. Interesting, bro. I just peeped that. Damn, I might turn this whole back on. I don't know now. Wait. So in this ad, the same ad that I just talked to y'all about, this is one of the first times I did the long form variations and the mini variations. So I have a long form variation that's like, I don't know. How long is this? The long form variation is 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and then the short form variation, we have a 3-minute variation and we have a 2-minute variation. The one that got all the spin is the 3-minute variation and a $60 CPA. But I just peeped, I just saw 6 purchases. The long form variation has a $16 CPA, 6 purchases under $100. And its frequency is 1.8, so it's still like, damn, I might just turn this whole back on as is. I don't really want to turn it on. And then the other long form variation had a $9 CPA, like, you know how you just do like different hooks, had a $9 CPA, and then the other long form variation had a $5.25 CPA with 2 purchases. Hold on, let me see the last couple days. All right, I'm gonna end this video here. Just continue these learnings. I don't want to just like make this video too long. I guess I'll tell y'all this just because I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, all the spend went towards the long form over the last 3 days when it was just soaking up a whole bunch of spend. I don't know. I think I should still make an iteration, but that just gave me some proof of concept a little bit. I don't even know what to do now. I might turn it back on. I don't know. It has in the last 3 days, it spent $500 and added a $75 CPA. Just randomly getting hella spend at night. All right, we'll end the video here. Key point, just be intentional about being in the ad account and the things that you're putting out. All right, y'all boys.